What is up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Pops Customs Garage. Today's episode, we are picking up something awesome. By the title of this video and thumbnail, you can probably figure out what it is. So we got the trailer loaded. I'm gonna stop talking and let's hit the road. Check this thing out. Yeah, buddy. This thing is awesome. So it is a 4-speed. You can kind of see 1, 4. So it is an 8-in. This thing is radical. Can't wait to get this thing home so we can get it running. Load it up and head it home. All right, we got her home. I'm gonna put it in front of the shop and look at it in some more detail. It's been kind of sketchy getting this thing off the trailer. This tire, the toe is all out. So if the right one is straight, this one's all like that. So this thing barely fits. Oh, Dad, come here. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, that's fine.
I thought there was another one.
That's a new wheel. That wheel's been replaced.
See, it's kind of just...
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know if I said this earlier, but it's already been converted to 12 volt. Yeah, I don't know about that. Obviously, it doesn't have any oil in it. It won't turn over. So we're gonna have to diagnose that a little bit, but we're gonna have to find a whole schematic of headlights, Dad.
Yeah.
Not even hooked up.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that hard.
I've been, this thing's probably been, or I've been attempted to rebuild before. That looks a little goofy. Take that off.
Yeah.
Those are steps. Somebody handmade. Oh, Dad.
Yeah.
These are just bolted in.
Yeah, I was just noticing
These
that.
steps.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's probably one of the first things I take off. Look kind of funky. Sweet. So for some reason, I thought the hood tilted up, but there's supposed to be 4 bolts, only 2 right here. So we're taking this chicken wire off too because it looks ugly. And we're gonna replace it with a grill, but. All right, so we got the chicken wire off. It's the next day. Me and Trin's chilling in the shop. I do want to make a slight note that in this video, I'm probably going to be wearing 12 different things because it's going to be filmed across several different days. I don't really know what the motive of this video is. Probably to try to get it running. I doubt we're going to do that all in one video, but we'll see where it goes. So, like I said, I got the chicken wire off. I'm going to try to get the hood off. There's 2 bolts. Boom. Boom. I'm going to let them soak in WD-40. It's WD-40? Yeah. No, sorry, not WD-40. PB Blaster. A little bit. Completely missed. Boom. Boom. Come on. There we go. All right, let that soak for a little bit. So as the PB Blaster is just kind of settling in and sitting, I will show you one of my observations. So as you see, look at this tire, that tire. This tire is kind of lined up with the inside of it, right? Look at this one. Way further that way, right? Check this out. Yeah. The axle shifted that way a little bit. The oil pan is disconnected. So this part of the axle is supposed to, or axle assembly front part of the tractor, I don't know, is supposed to connect the oil pan. See, there's bolts right there. So that might be part of the timing cover. I don't really know, but here's what I do know. This whole thing is shifted this way. I would assume it's probably because this was unbolted and moved all the geometry. My guess is somebody unbolted this because they were going to try to overhaul it, because there's one bolt missing from, I guess, the transmission body casing. So somebody's tried to split this tractor before. So that's kind of my guess. Somebody tried to overhaul it, and then they let this unbolted. Then they probably just let it sit. Then the ground shifted or whatnot, and the whole axle moved. That's kind of my guess. I'm hoping that's it, because nothing looks bent. So that is my theory on why that is. So we're going to take the hood off, that we can kind of examine the whole front end a little more, because let me get the light. That is right there kind of bent, and the crank pulley right there is a lot of whack. So I don't really know what happened, but we're going to take this off and figure out what happened. Just going to let that sit for a little bit, let that drain. This little pleater screw. I'm surprised there's no holes in the radiator, because it's definitely hitting the fan. We have to get a new radiator. I don't know. We'll see how damaged the fins are once we take it off. And that's pretty fresh antifreeze. I mean, it's pretty green. This bucket was dirty before, but it's cleaning the paint. That's probably making a mess, man.
Dude, that's a lot.
What?
Whatever that liquid is.
Coolant?
Yeah.
Not really. Oh, man. I'm about to make a huge mess. Huge freaking mess. Get it inside the pan. Oh. Look at those radiator pits. This one. Focus on this.
What?
Where's the BF? Or just a sledgehammer? Oh, here it is. Yep. There we go. Nice. Did a butterfly come out? Holy crap. Yeah, butterflies come out.
You should wear your new jacket tonight.
You know video, right? The radiator doesn't seem too bad. I'll run some water through it another day and see if it's leaking. Kind of far down the list right now, but shroud looks a little bent compared to that side, but this tractor's slowly becoming the mystery tractor. The mystery freaking tractor. The guy we bought it from said the motor turned over. I'm not saying he's a liar. I'm not saying anything. That fan is hitting right there. And the pulley isn't turning. The fan is just, only the fan pulley is turning, not the whole engine. So it'd be pretty hard for the whole engine to turn. Also, basically why the fan's hitting that is the whole tractor and motor part is slightly dropping because this axle isn't hooked up to it. So it's dropping and it's basically putting a lot of stress on these tie rod arms, I guess you can call them, and these trailing arms. So you kind of see that tie rod arm is kind of bent. Same thing with that one. I mean, that one, that joint right there is all bent. So my plan and idea is probably disconnect, support the tractor up, tractor body and case is up, then disconnect the trailing arm, the tie rod arm off, pull the front axle off, and just kind of examine the front and see what the front needs to be, if anything needs to be fixed. That crank pulley looks a little out of whack, so that's why I want to do this. I mean, it is completely not even straight. So, and see if, because this is hitting up front, see if it's any more damage, because I mean, that distributor / coil, that's pretty bent. So probably going to replace that. I forgot to film this like an idiot I am. I got the jack on the oil pan and it lifted this part of the tractor up. It lifted everything up but the front axle. Then me and my dad got on each end and we shifted it, and you can see, guess what? Now the block in part of the tractor sits higher than this, and we shifted the whole axle. I'm trying to think. We shifted the whole axle this way. That way. Yeah, we shifted that way. No, we shifted this way. Sorry, I forgot. Shifted it this way, so the crank pulley isn't squished anymore, and we gained some clearance. And look, this don't hit that right anymore, and this is free. So that is solved. I thought we were gonna take the axle off, but we don't. We just shifted it, and it shifts real easy. You can probably pick this. Oh, I'm not able to do it. You see, it shifts pretty easily. So the oil pan, all the holes line up for the block, so that's nice. Got a little sidetracked by that belt geometry. It's not that straight. It's not straight at all. So now that we have the kind of axle situation settled, all we have to really do is get new bolts for this kind of front piece right here to bolt into the oil pan right there. You get new bolts for those. Then they sell oil pan bolts. They actually bolt the bolts that bolt the oil pan to the block on eBay for about $18. So you need to order some of that. Then we're gonna get a new carburetor on the way, a new distributor. But I need to figure out which distributor we have. Oh, never mind. I can tell. We have one of those. Okay. So we have the front mount. I believe the front mount was on early 8-ins and the side mount was on the later 8-ins. So got that. So we're gonna order a new distributor, spark plugs, which I need to take those spark plugs and check them. We gotta order a new crank pulley because I don't really need to explain that one. That's pretty bent. Gonna order new gasket set to seal up the front because you can tell it's been leaking before. Then a new of the fuel, I forget what they call it. That thingamawhopper that kind of filters the fuel and kind of primes it a little bit. So that, I'm sure we have a new inline filter as well. Obviously oil and oil filter. The oil filter is a canister style. So yeah, let's get to taking the spark plugs off, checking what they look like, then maybe take the head off. I would like to see if I could manually turn the engine over, but I don't have a socket that big, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. So I may at work. We've tried a 32, and that's the biggest one we have here, and it don't fit. 36 may fit, but obviously it's probably not metric. It's definitely standard since this is a 49 tractor. I didn't realize this oil canister is attached to the head, so I'm probably gonna just retract a little bit and start on the front drive, get the fan off, disconnect the wiring right here, then probably get the alternator loose and get the belt off and all that. That way you can set some degreaser right there and clean all that up, then move to the head, back to the head. As you can see, the distributor cap is pretty shot. The spark plug wires, I did take a picture of the orientation. Probably gonna replace those. Wild guess though. And one of these is cracked, so. New spark plug wires. My buddy over at Noble Speed Equipment, Rick, makes custom spark plug wires. Making some of those. Obviously, you're probably gonna know by this end of this video if we got some or not, but I'm gonna try and see if we can make it some. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think it would look cool with the flathead. Took a picture of what the actual distributor side of the spark plug wire of the orientation, so I need to match them with those and label them. That way I can know which goes where and whatnot, which wire is which. But let's try to see if we can get this water pump off. Got that off. So did a little research. That bolt is a 5" and 5/8 socket. I don't have that, so I'm gonna go to AutoZone, get one real quick. In the meantime, I want to pour some ATF down there. Maybe let them, I don't know if it's locked up or not. Just like has soak, work its way down. People do ATF because it's a detergent. Help clean a little bit. So hopefully that'll work its way down while I'm gone, and then we can maybe spin this sucker over. All right, remember I said it was an 5/8, I believe? Yeah, I lied. Good thing I double checked. It's actually an 5/16. So, and it's 3/4 drive. So if you don't have an adapter, I recommend getting an adapter. Let's hope this thing spins over. If not, this is going to be an extra $400 to buy a rebuild kit and take probably about twice as long as I want it to. So let's cross fingers. Why is it spinning both ways? Wow. That came off a whole lot easier than I thought it would. Wow. I hope y'all got that. That came off times 10 easier than I thought it would. Okay. Yeah, you can see. Focus. That sucker's pretty bent. Holy shnikes. Oh. Shit. Yeah, that's why I said what I said. Sorry, Mom and Dad and grandparents and other viewers who are under the age of 13. Oh, yikes. Oh, yikes. There we go. There we go. You know drill, baby. Ain't no drill. You don't need no drill. Drill is for the weak. Okay? For the weak. I'm him. I'm basically that guy. You know the clip where it says, "You're not that guy, pal"? I am that guy.
And then leave.
I'm checking out, sir.
Yeah, check out.
Go ahead, ring out. If you could take
Okay?
6
You're
feet.
not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Kind of stand still till I get one of those boltes. I did rip the spark plug wires out of here. I had to cut them because I couldn't pull it out of there. So I'm guessing I had to cut the ends because the ends wouldn't fit in there. I'm guessing they probably put the wires through, then crimped the ends on once they were through. I may still run that. I may not. I don't know. I kind of would like to run my own thing because I kind of want to show off my buddy Noble Speed Equipment's spark plug wires. So I don't know yet. I may run that. I may not. I don't know. But I pulled the wires out and I'm taking measurements so I can send them to him. The wires all right there. I'm basically measuring from right there to basically where I cut off, which is right at the edge. So I am writing all this down in a book. I'm kind of old school. I like physical books. I don't like to read though. I just like physical picture books. That's kind of how the distributor layout is because it's like an H. So cylinder 1, which is the front. I don't know. I'm assuming that's the orientation. I haven't really looked into it. I'm assuming it goes literally 1, 2, 3, 4 from the front. So distributor layout, that's passenger side. I know there's no passenger driver seat, but that just helps me. If I'm looking directly in front of the engine, that's the passenger side. That's the driver. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So good progress tonight. Just need to get that bolt. Then we can hear some compression, hopefully. I did hear something. That could be me tripping out, but I swear I heard something. All right, back in the shop, guys. Yes, I'm wearing the same outfit as I wore in the last clip, even though it's a different day. I don't really care. I'm a boy. I can do this. Got me a bolt from work, Caterpillar bolt, probably for a C15, C12, something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna use this for the crankshaft bolt for the pulley and snout. So let's while the garage heats up, I'm gonna clean up a little bit. Then let's see if this thing can turn over. We got the head off. This red stuff is from the wire loom. I had the spark plug off, so it probably wasn't smart as I took that off and a bunch of crap came off of it. Old paint and stuff. Am I on video or am I time lapse? Yeah, I'm on video. Okay. We're gonna try turning it over again. Kind of see what we're working with the head off. What's up?
I'm looking down the.
Ooh.
Boy, they are mirrored. That's why this thing was burning some oil.
Yeah.
Well, it can burn more.
Yeah. Heck yeah, I can.
But we can knock all this stuff off.
Yeah.
Take a wire brush and wire brush it off.
I'm curious if you have any stuck valves. Looks like we do.
Oh yeah.
Those haven't gone up once. Oh, there we go. All the block just turned blue. All because of this nice new paint called brake cleaner. Nice. As you see, there is some cylinder wall damage up on the top. My guess is when it sat for so long, none of the pistons... Oh, I gotta turn the light off. Sorry, that's bothering me. None of the pistons were at top dead center. They're all basically how they are right now. That's probably why it's rusty only at the top. If we were doing a full restoration, yeah, I would probably do an overhaul kit. But because it's not terrible, we're gonna try to clean it up as best as we can and just send it because it still turns over pretty easily. I got a feeling it's gonna smoke pretty good. Most Aiden videos I see, the tractor smoking. So it's a tractor, it's not a car. You can kind of live with it smoking a little bit. Plus, this thing holds 12 quarts of oil, 10 to 12 quarts of oil. This sucker is gonna have to smoke a lot to burn 12 quarts. A lot. This current status, we're gonna cover this up a little bit because we're about to go on vacation for Christmas. So I'm gonna cover it up. I'm gonna clean the head a little bit at work, maybe steam clean it and whatnot. Then hopefully parts will come in when we get back, and we can start thrashing on this sucker and getting it running. Head cleaning the cylinders and the block. Not gonna show you how, so we don't get roasted. Since you know we have some true Aiden professionals probably watching this, so this is eBay rebuilt. While Dad's cleaning the block, I'm gonna clean the cylinder head using snap-on little drill thing with this piece right here. I don't even know what you call that, abrasive disc, I guess, to help get all the old gasket residue off. But I'm gonna spray some Sweet Patina Get Gone degreaser first. Head is cleaned. So is the engine block. Now we're gonna put the head back on with the new head gasket for now. Not gonna torque down the bolts because we're probably gonna take it off again to time it, but we're gonna put the head back on and cover all that. Cylinder head's back on. Like I said, not too worried about it just because we're gonna take it back off to time it. We're mainly doing this just to cover everything up. I didn't torque them down or anything. I need to put tape or whatnot in the spark plug holes. I should have saved the old ones to at least put it in there until we get new ones. But doing that, then we can pressure wash the front end. Need to cover that up. Then pressure wash all this oil off. Reseal the front cover because that's obviously where it's leaking. Take the oil pan off and pressure wash the oil pan out. Inspect the bottom end. Then we start putting everything back together. We're gonna back the tractor out and pressure wash all the front end, but we don't have bolts yet for the front. I asked them in a group, and they just kind of, every person told me a different answer. So we're just gonna find 2 bolts that will hold the front piece to the block for now.
Just to roll it.
Just to roll it. You think I should probably put a couple of the oil pin bolts in?
Yeah.
Now that I say that, probably.
Yes, so we don't get water in it.
Yeah. Those came in. So we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna adjust this and push it out to pressure wash this. Got the timing cover off. I'm gonna clean it up, reseal it. Oil pan has been cleaned. That was an absolutely beauty to take off. Dad's gonna try to get the engine to top dead center or piston number 1 to top dead center and make it match with the marks on the flywheel. Then we need to spray the bottom of WD-40. It's got a little water on it, but I'm not too worried about it. Then put everything back on, put the new distributor on. Then do you want to put the new carburetor on, or do you just want to?
No, we'll put the new one on.
Okay, get a new carburetor, put that on. You need to change filters. You tighten this back up. I'm sure water got in that, but that's what the filter's for. Then we should be good to go. Throttle needs to be probably adjusted big time. Dad's putting thread sealant on all the head studs or head bolts because they run through water jackets. We don't want any leaky things because we're doing this right.
Right.
This entire tractor's run off doing right. Got the motor timed for what we think. Then we just gotta time the distributor, then we should be good. All right, so the front cover's looking good. Got the distributor on, and I'm like, man, what goes on top of this? Well, the coil does. If you remember correctly in the beginning of the video, the distributor and coil was so just smushed. I had no idea what the top piece was. So it's coil. Today's New Year's Eve, and everything place is closed right now. So tomorrow we'll go get one since most places will be open. There's track supply about 10 miles away, so we'll go get one from there. But we're gonna try to replace this steering wheel. We got a new one because anytime you touch this, it leaves black marks all over your hand, and it's very annoying. So, and we're gonna transfer this over. We'll go get the new steering wheel.
I think you could have gone about 2 more Ugga-Duggas.
Yeah, I don't know if the spline's we're lined up, but it's on there.
Oh, they're married now. I think we can call that good.
Yeah, it works. No, backhand. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. How's it feel?
Oh, man. Feels like I'm driving a 66 Ford F-100.
No, then it would be spinning and the tires wouldn't move.
That's true.
Also gonna repair this wire since it's not really a thing. Also got the new ignition coil. It is a 12-volt coil. I'm just gonna tighten this wire right here, like so. Don't mind the wire in a very awkward place. I'm gonna wire manage it. I'm gonna delete that tube because that tube looks kind of funky. So I got my new spark plug wires from my buddy Rick, like I was saying earlier in the video, and double speed equipment. So I'm gonna put those on later. Then I'll just tie in the wires because that's the alternator wire right here. So once I get the alternator on, I'll kind of just zip tie and do some wire management. But I'm not too worried about it right now. So on the new carburetor, these threads are super soft and they are fine, I think. And the fitting that came off of it is over here, and it seems to be coarse, or I'm not too sure because I put my fine thread chaser thread chaser on here and it fits fine. So I'm not too sure. All I know is these threads that came off the old carburetor are different than the threads that are in the new carburetor. So what we did is we have a speed extractor and we have a new carburetor for it. So we this barbed fitting came in the carburetor kit. So put it on here. Now, and we found some new fuel line, which may not work at that. But we're gonna put new fuel line on as well. Yeah, that carb is about the easiest carb install ever. You know, I said I thought that was the throttle blade, that was the choke. It's completely opposite. Crankshaft pulleys on, oil pan is bolted up. Man, that is the stupidest oil pan in existence. It is so dumb. So now we're gonna clean up the water pump a little bit. I'm gonna clean this up, then put the water pump and fan on, mount up the accessory drive, spark plug wires, wire everything up, then we should be golden. Front drive is back on, belt is tight, alternator is wired. It's not hitting distributor. Everything in the front's looking good. Not all bent and everything like the beginning of the video. Actually, it does turn over. I tried it earlier. Now we're going to connect the axle to the block. We got nuts and bolts from Tractor Supply. So, and once that gets done, back it out. Got the tractor in the sun. Man, this thing has came a long way. So the dad's gonna put oil in the engine and hydraulic fluid, the back axle, because it's low. So our plan is we're gonna not hook up fuel or anything and turn it over. Just make sure everything turns over. Then if that checks out, we have a spare differential fluid bottle. We're gonna clean it out, put some 2-stroke gasoline in it, and basically have this up here and put the bottle pouring in it, because it is gravity fed. That way you don't have to take the tank and the grill, put it on there, and if it doesn't work, take it back off and whatnot. But also gonna hook up the radiator. Now I need to get the spark plug wires, but I'm gonna take a little break. Here are the spark plug wires. Check these out. How cool is that? I'm gonna put them on the tractor, and it's gonna be the nicest thing on this tractor besides the battery. Got the wires on, look pretty cool. May have to trim them up a little bit, not too sure, but they still look awesome. Absolutely so cool. These wires we may cut a little bit, tuck it in with these right here. But now, oh, you throw that away. What else are we gonna do? Brain fart.
Put hydraulic fluid in it.
Oh yeah.
After it spins over.
Put hydraulic fluid in it. We're gonna see if it'll spin over first. Then, like I said, we'll do the fuel. All right, we got the tractor back in the shop. Surprisingly, it didn't go as planned. We had no spark, so we didn't even try fuel first. We were just, once we got spark, then we were gonna add the fuel, but we didn't get any spark. We had a Tractor Supply coil, and we read some forums that are probably like older than I am, and they said that the Napa coil is better than the Tractor Supply by like a lot. So we got a Napa coil, and let me tell you right now, this little coil right here, little spring, is literally probably 1/4 to 1/2 inch longer than the other one. The other one stopped like right where my fingernail's at. So, and it's a lot more weight to it. So we're gonna put this back on the tractor, then test to see if we have spark. Got the coil on. Gonna flip the ignition switch on. Let's give this thing a whirl. Hey, can you turn the light off? Nope. Rats. All right, sorry for the darkness, but we made a jump wire. This white wire that goes from directly to the battery straight to the coil. It's a whole new wire just for test purposes. It's not plugged into the resistor or anything. I'm gonna hit it with the Lone Wolf 3000. Watch this little glass. This is on cylinder 1. Ready, Dad? Yeah. That right there, spark, sir. That's spark. Fillers and fillettes, which means we got spark when you do that. So
We'll rewire the switch.
yeah, our issue is the switch, possibly the resistor since we bypassed it. But we're gonna basically cut all the black tape off all the wires and kind of see where where the green wire is, where the obstacle and the green wire is. So worst case scenario, we just have to run a whole new one wire. It's not that bad. I mean, it's just a tractor. It's not like it's the whole vehicle or anything. So I'm just glad to know we found the issue. All right, we got a new switch put in and starter button. I know it's all original, right? Check this out. Was it already on?
No.
Nice. Nice. Here goes nothing.
Make sure that
Put some two-stroke.
Yeah.
That is two-stroke, right? All right, two-stroke gasoline, fuel. Gotta fill it up like right there.
you got enough for it to fart.
You ready? Then you go. Oh yeah. Okay. Is there a big enough hole in the nozzle?
Yeah, it's
Ready? How much did the fuel going down?
yeah, it filled it up. It filled up the bowl, I'm sure.
Did it?
I'm sure it did, because I poured a bunch in there. I poured way more in there than what's in here.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Probably just that carburetor. Brand new.
Yeah.
Can you put some ether through there?
Well, that won't do any good.
Oh yeah, it did. Oh yeah, it does. Doesn't take 5 minutes to flip up.
Yeah, go get the starter fluid. It's in the.
You can pour straight to the carburetor.
There. Oh, I got a spray right here.
Ready?
I turned it off. The,
Okay.
that's too much.
Getting somewhere.
Okay, go ahead. Good. Yeah, we don't want our starter to go out.
Good. All right, after a couple tries, we tried ether.
Watch out for that.
Oh yeah, the fan blade. We tried ether. We've made sure that all cylinders are getting spark. We did notice that one of the spark plugs doesn't really have that much fuel on it or carbon. So we're gonna do compression tests because our only other guess is that there's so much, those pistons are so wore out, the cylinders are so slap wore out that we're basically not building compression. So we're gonna do a little compression test. All right, hit it, yeah. All right, we got some new parts in today. By the end of the day, it's either going to run or it's not. So we got a new starter. We're going to swap that over. We eventually, or not eventually, but we finally got a new 12-volt coil instead of the 6. Hopefully that thing doesn't fry. Then we got a condenser kit for the distributor since we kind of messed that one up when you fried the 6-volt coil. So hopefully with all those things, especially with the new starter, it'll spin faster, create more compression because we got 60 psi, 60 psi, 60 psi, then 39 in the last one. And that's pretty low. They're supposed to be at 110 to 115, 90 minimum, or 70 psi at like 10,000 feet of elevation. And we're definitely not 10,000 feet. So we're going to swap the starter and hopefully we can increase cylinder pressure with that because it'll spin faster. And hopefully the sucker will run. Got the new distributor on. I mean, not the new distributor, new starter on. Way more torqueier than the old one. Old one's right here. So I'm rebuilding the distributor with the contact points and whatnot. As you can see, when we fried the 6-volt coil, it basically soldered the little spring, a little smaller coil under it to this contact screw in the distributor. Well, I'm going to clean up the old screw from the old distributor right there and try to clean it up, then replace it with this one. Then put the distributor back together. Rebuild complete. Robbed some parts off the other one, but just throw it on there and see what happens. Got an IV stand holding fuel right there. I'll leave it either guy. I want to try it.
Ready? Yeah. Start the fire.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All that ATF.
Yeah.
Ready?
And we've got 2-stroke. Yeah, go ahead.
Nice, dude.
Now we just gotta get to run on its own. Okay. We have to jack with the carburetor.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
Oh, there's no throttle.
Oh, that's throttle closed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright, that makes sense.
Right there.
Good.
Dude, holy smokes. Hopefully that's got the 2-stroke. Because there's no rings. So as you see, it's smoking, but only from the tailpipe, not the actual engine, which is good. But there's probably a bunch of crap, junk, all clogged up in the exhaust pipe. So right now we're going straight headers only, race car. All right, we got a new fuel line on the carburetor because the old one was very swollen and had a bunch of crap in it. So the fuel, the 2-stroke fuel we were pouring in there wasn't even getting the carburetor. So that's why I was running just off ether. So, and there's a little set screw in the bottom of the carburetor. We took that out and nothing came out. So no fuel is getting to the bowl anyway. All right, we got some fuel in the bowl. Let's give her a shot. Go like halfway on this. Nice. Nice, dude. Nice.
But you brought me back down, and so I need you, and I know this way.
About to pour some fuel in there. Got the intake pipe hooked up. Sediment bowls hooked up. Hopefully it doesn't leak. There's a light hump in the fuel line right there, so we have to straighten that out since it's gravity fed. We're not gonna hook up the exhaust due to all the I can hear crap in there due to that. So hopefully we can drive around this thing. Oh.
Next thing. That looks terrible.
Oh, that looks like pee, dude.
No, if that looks like pee, you got problems. All right, go ahead.
out if the clutch works or if anything works. We gotta put coolant in it. We gotta put coolant in it.
Add some coolant in it before Dad takes it for a ride. Man, this thing's fun. The battery in the 8N died. Oh man. Sorry. The battery in the 8N died. The alternator doesn't work, so we're gonna get a new alternator, but hey, I'm just glad that that sucker runs, dude. This thing is so fun. Man, this is awesome. Success, absolutely success. That, my friends, is gonna wrap it up for today's video. It was a super long one, but man, beginning of the video, we pulled the tractor from literally a field and it was not running. The front end was completely apart. So the fact that we got it running in this entire video, huge success. And we did a couple test runs, so can't be mad there. Still need to do a couple things, like need to get a grill, need to take these steps off. They have been nice when working on it, I will admit. They've been kind of like a tool bench. We obviously, earlier on, we flipped the tires in. Then we need to push these in because these are all the way out, so it looks kind of funky. But just a couple things here and there, like weld this little latch back on to right there and stuff. So just little things, wire up the lights, stuff like that. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said earlier, huge success. Me and my dad are pumped about it. The entire time I was riding, I had a huge smile on my face, so if you couldn't tell. So make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think about the video. If you like the tractor content, leave a comment. Me and my dad are huge into tractors. We have the utility Coyote right there. That's our utility tractor. Then we have a couple SpeedX lawn tractors. One of them we are going to completely rebuild, completely like paint everything. So our bucket list tractor is a Model B of 2024. I don't know when we'll get one, but eventually we will. But if y'all want more tractor content, me and my dad are definitely, we can get another tractor. We can get an Alice Chalmers, maybe another 2N, a 9N, Jubilee, 601 Powermaster, something like that. Let us know if you like the tractor content and we will get another tractor. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next video. Peace out.